Ayodhya, the legendary city of the sun. A sacred landscape carved in stone and devotion. Inside the grand royal palace, the court of King Dasharatha rejoices. A long-awaited heir has been born to the kingdom. The princes are born. Growing up in the palace, Ram and Lakshman were inseparable. At the Gurukul, they mastered the scriptures and the art of war. For Lakshman,
"Grant me the boons you promised."
I, Father, gladly accept. I will follow you, Raghava.
thus began their 14 years of exile.
Deep in the forest, the journey continued. Lakshman worked with resolute. The seasons changed, creating a peaceful sanctuary, vengeful fury. In Golden Lanka, news of the humiliation reached King Ravana, his heart filled with a dark and burning desire for vengeance, drawn by a magical golden deer.
When we think of the loyal sidekick, we usually picture a gentle, highly agreeable companion. But the Ramayana introduces a completely different architecture for loyalty. Lakshmana is a vessel of primordial violence, a prince with a notoriously short fuse. According to the Puranas, he is the earthly incarnation of Shesha. That is the massive, multi-headed cosmic naga, or serpent, that serves as the literal resting place for the preserver deity Vishnu, and the foundation upon which the entire universe sits. Yet despite this massive cosmic weight, his mortal incarnation in the kingdom of Ayodhya required him to exist strictly in the background. He stood continuously in the shadow of his perfectly calm, diplomatic elder half-brother, Rama. Lakshmana wasn't born to be a diplomat. He underwent severe military conditioning under sage Vishvamitra in the Dandakaranya forest. Here, he mastered the Devastratas, highly advanced celestial weaponry designed to execute powerful demons. This lethal programming is tested during the marriage tournament in Mithila. Rama snaps a divine bow belonging to Lord Shiva, which immediately summons Sage Parashrama, an incredibly powerful, axe-wielding avatar known for wiping out entire lineages of warriors. Rama attempts to pacify the enraged sage with deep respect. Lakshmana does the opposite. He verbally attacks Parashrama, mocking his pride, dismissing his weapon, and openly challenging him to draw blood. He is an arrogant, highly lethal prince, biologically wired for war. This volatility highlights the sheer scale of his restraint. He takes a character built for conquest and voluntarily reduces it to a supporting role, defining his loyalty through the intentional subjugation of his own lethal nature. When Rama is banished to a 14-year exile, Lakshmana insists on joining him to serve as his primary guard. Knowing human fatigue is a tactical liability, he summons Nidra, the goddess of sleep, and asks her to entirely remove his biological need for rest. The goddess agrees, but the physical debt of sleep has to go somewhere. The burden falls to his wife, Urmila, back in Ayodhya. She agrees to absorb his 14 years of sleep so he can maintain a permanent, unbroken watch. Because of Urmila's sacrifice, Lakshmana becomes a biological anomaly. Free from exhaustion, his tactical focus in the Dandakaranya forest is absolute. We see his defensive protocol in action in this diagram of the Lakshman Rekha. Once Sita is abducted and the War of Lanka begins, Lakshmana transitions from a stationary shield to a highly mobile offensive weapon. Rama delegates the most lethal, high-value targets to his brother. Lakshmana is tasked with neutralizing Ravana's most formidable sons, the giant Atikaya and the invincible Indrajit. Indrajit fights using advanced illusions and dark magic, repeatedly mortally wounding Lakshmana. Defeating him required a relentless, brutal exchange of celestial munitions, proving that Rama's eventual victory was militarily impossible without his younger brother's specialized training. His success in exile operated on a strict dual reality. He was the waking sword on the battlefield, solely because Urmila acted as the sleeping shield back in Ayodhya. Following the war, Rama reclaims the throne of Ayodhya. The kingdom is secure, but the protector's duty requires one final, fatal calculation. Rama is engaged in a highly classified meeting with Yama, the god of death. The strict condition of the meeting is that anyone who interrupts will be executed. While standing guard, Lakshmana is confronted by sage Durvasa, who threatens to curse the entire kingdom of Ayodhya with destruction if he is not granted immediate entry. Lakshmana weighs the variables: save himself or save the city. He chooses the city. He deliberately walks into the room, intentionally violating Rama's absolute command, knowing it will cost him his life. To fulfill the penalty without forcing his brother to order an execution, Lakshmana marches out of the city, wades into the Sarayu River, and voluntarily gives up the physical world. This track record of loyalty yields a cosmic concession. Rama promises that in their next incarnation, the roles will reverse. Rama takes the form of the younger sibling, Krishna, while Lakshmana becomes his elder brother, Balarama. Today, his religious legacy reflects his specific brand of devotion. In the rare instances where he is worshipped as a primary deity, such as temples in Rajasthan and Telangana, his statue is placed directly alongside Urmila, immortalizing their shared silent sacrifice. His reputation as the ultimate protector even crossed over from theology into modern military doctrine. Today, in several Southeast Asian navies, the rank equivalent to admiral is officially titled Laksamana. Lakshmana's legacy is defined by this specific alignment of power. He controlled the universe's most volatile energy and placed it flawlessly in the service of his brother's mission.
Look at almost any traditional stage adaptation of the Hindu epic, the Ramayana. You will typically see Lord Rama standing front and center, with his brother, Lakshmana, positioned quietly to the side. For centuries, popular culture has cast him in this specific role, the dutiful, secondary shadow to a divine king. Read the Jain version of the epic, however, and a completely different character emerges. In that tradition, Rama does not kill the 10-headed demon king, Ravana. Lakshmana is the one striking the final blow. This sudden burst of lethal violence aligns perfectly with his mythological origins. In the Puranas, Lakshmana is described as the human avatar of Shesha, the multi-headed cosmic serpent that the preserver deity Vishnu rests upon. Long before the famed exile, Lakshmana spent his youth actively hunting down powerful demons. Under the rigorous training of sage Vishvamitra, he mastered celestial weaponry, building up elite martial capabilities that rivaled anyone in the kingdom. The sheer volatility of this training surfaced during Sita's wedding tournament. When Lord Rama breaks a sacred bow, it enrages Parashurama, a terrifying axe-wielding sage who demands to know who committed the offense. Rama responds to this threat with a display of calm diplomacy. Lakshmana steps up with fearless mockery. He openly taunts the towering sage, pointing out the absurdity of getting so angry over an old piece of wood. He is proud, fiercely protective, and deeply anti-authoritarian. That exchange proves something vital about his character. His legendary loyalty required a deliberate, highly disciplined leash placed on immense, explosive power. Passivity played no role in his devotion. When Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana are banished to the forest, that leash is pulled tight. Almost overnight, Lakshmana pivots from a fiery prince to an ever-vigilant servant. He realizes that to guarantee their physical safety, he can never let his guard down. On the first night of exile, he summons Nidra, the goddess of sleep. He strikes a bargain, asking her to strip away his sleep for 14 years so he can ceaselessly stand watch. The goddess agrees, but cosmic law requires someone else to take his place asleep. That burden falls to his wife, Urmila, back in Ayodhya. She happily accepts the task, falling into a 14-year slumber to carry his exhaustion. This unparalleled shared sacrifice resonates so deeply that it shapes how the figures are worshipped today. In places like Braditpur and Mayag, you will find unique temples where Lakshmana is prayed to side by side with Urmila. During the long exile, he traded his celestial bow for a different kind of strength, an unfathomable capacity for deprivation and suffering. That endurance powered a highly strategic mind. In the forest, Lakshmana actively built their physical shelters and constantly analyzed the environment to anticipate incoming threats. We see this tactical thinking literally drawn into the dirt. Leaving Sita to help Rama, he creates the Lakshman Rekha. Lakshmana exists to be the ultimate bearer of extreme burdens. After the war is won and the exile ends, he refuses to put that burden down.
When Rama is finally crowned king of Kosala, he offers Lakshmana the title of crown prince. Lakshmana declines, insisting their brother Bharata is more deserving. That commitment exacts a severe emotional toll. When Rama makes the controversial decision to banish Sita from the kingdom, it is Lakshmana who receives the order to physically leave her alone in the forest near sage Valmiki's ashram. The final test of his devotion arrives at Rama's doorstep in the form of sage Durvasa. The volatile sage demands an immediate audience with the king, but Rama is in a highly confidential meeting with Yama, the god of death, and has ordered Lakshmana to execute anyone who interrupts them. Durvasa threatens to curse the entire city of Ayodhya to ruin if his meeting is delayed by even a moment. Faced with an impossible dilemma, Lakshmana decides it is better that he alone die to save the kingdom. He interrupts the meeting, informs Rama of the sage's arrival, and then walks to the banks of the Sarayu River. To fulfill his brother's absolute decree, he steps into the waters and gives up his life. It is a staggering tragedy, yet it is the logical conclusion for a life designed entirely around absorbing the consequences and dangers meant for others. Lakshmana codified the archetype of the ultimate protector. His cultural footprint runs deep enough to influence secular, modern history. Look at the military structures of the Malay archipelago today. In Malaysia and Indonesia, naval officers who achieve the rank equivalent of admiral are given the title Lakshmana, a direct, living tribute to his tactical brilliance and defense. His story leaves us with a clear conclusion. True loyalty requires the active, continuous choice to take immense, lethal strength and actively channel it entirely into the service of something much greater than yourself.